What it do, what it does. It's Mo, Muhammad, or Big Mos, and my wife.
Hi guys, I'm back again. I know y'all missed me, but I'm not here with my girl Nana. Now I'm here with my man.
Time to get serious now.
Yeah. But part 2 with Nana is still coming, so don't worry about that one.
So today we're going to take this opportunity to kind of utilize the long format of videos to talk about things that we've actually been getting asked on TikTok. How did you guys meet? Where did you guys meet? You know, how's it like being married so young? Stuff like that. So that's going to take pretty much most of this time that we have today with this podcast. We'll start with, I guess, where we met and how long ago we met.
Yeah. So I used to live in Canada, Montreal, and I used to do uni there. And then one day, me and my best friend decided to go meet one of our other friends in Calgary, Alberta. Just so random, to be honest, but
I think doing it this way is actually going to be so cool because it shows like both perspectives. Because for me, it's like I lived in Calgary, and it was just like a random night for us.
Yeah.
And for you, it was like you're showing up to a birthday from a whole nother city.
Yeah.
And it was like a random night. We had nothing to do, and we decided not to go to the clubs for one day. So it was like one of our friends at the time was like, "Let's just go to this like random house party that we did not know who, like the birthday." We did not know whose birthday it was. We just showed up. And yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. I had it was like somebody's Airbnb or something. And then I went with my friends, and then I just got like briefly introduced to Mo. But I just thought he was like kind of like, I don't know, like not standoffish, but he was just, you know, when you just meet somebody and then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna meet this person for like the night. Like I'm not gonna probably like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna give the guys my game card. Never show interest. If you're out at a party, a club, do not show interest. If you notice the girl's kind of looking too, don't make the first move because it just.
See, I don't understand that because it's like, okay, then at that, like for me, for example.
No. It's just facts. My success rate using this tactic is 100%.
I'll whoop your ass. I'm joking.
No, because that's like the joke thing. You got to listen, as a guy, listen, the game card before we continue is you got to play off of what girls give you on Twitter or social media. Listen to these cues they give you. When they say, oh, I like the mysterious guy that sits around and he's not dancing around, just do that. It works. And it works every time. So, and then initially, obviously at the time, like when the party was going on, like I was still kind of sober. So I was like, I'm not going to spit my best game right now. So we let it simmer. And then we ended up at a friend's house after the after party, like coincidentally. And, you know.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, we went to like an after party and then they were playing this game where it was like kind of like, okay, now I don't want to say gambling, but it's like you kind of like play this card game and then
it's literally gambling.
Okay.
A lot of money was spent and lost that day.
Yeah. So then he was like, oh, I'm going to let you pick the numbers out or whatever. And every time I picked the numbers, he would actually win. So he kept on calling me his good luck charm. And I was like, yeah. And then he ended up winning like a bunch of money. Then he was like, keep it. And then I never saw him again. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, who is this guy? And then I went up to my best friend and then I was like, basically, like, we just got a bunch of money from this guy that I don't think we're ever going to see again, but whatever. And we actually didn't meet again, like for like a couple of days. And then on my last day there, we went to like a friend's like house. And then she came up to me and she was like, okay, do you see that guy over there?
Yeah, because like I said, guys, you never you gotta put yourself in a position where you can't fail. So I went through the mutual friend and I was like, listen, I like this girl, I like the way she looks. What can you do for me right now? She's like, I'll put in a good word. So, and obviously I already made the good first impression, you know, by giving a random stranger.
Okay, but I just want to put a disclaimer. I did not think that he was attractive because he gave me all this money. I didn't even think that was going to happen. I was literally so lit that day. I just didn't even, like, I didn't think about it. But I was like, oh, wow. I genuinely didn't think that they were even in the same like circle kind of thing. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, it's like during that time you were there for like the week or so, it just happened that we just kept crossing paths. And it was like everything was aligning a little too well. So that last night, so my friend went up to our friend went up to you, said, this guy thinks yada yada.
Yeah, this guy thinks you're cute.
And then she made the first move. That's
then
my
I was
game
like,
card.
oh my gosh, if he thinks I'm cute, like, why would he not come up and like say hi to me? So I just I
Well,
had like
also at the time, she was kind of like talking to someone else at the house
uh
party. And I'm like, I'm not one. And it was like, I didn't know if it was like they were friends because I didn't know anything about him. Like, I don't know if they were friends. I don't know if this was like a random guy. So, one, I'm not going to put myself in any position where I can fail or look stupid. So, that's how I let the friend come do the work for me. Then she came up to me at the end of the night.
yeah, I just went up to him in the night and I was like, "Hi, how are you?" And he was like, "Good." And I'm like, "You should put my number in your phone." And like grabbed his phone and put my number with a heart. And then from there, we just like were talking and I was there for like one more night. I think it was like my last night, but I ended up missing my flight. So, which was coincidence. And on me missing, like me and my best friend missing our flight to go back to Montreal, we met up and then we just like had like a little date night.
Mhm.
And then from there, I was like, wow, wait, how am I going to go back to Montreal?
The date night ended with some explosive fireworks. I left my mark. And from there, she had to come back.
You behave.
What do you mean? Did you not fly back to? Did you not move to Calgary? For
No,
me?
I did not. Mo has this theory that I moved to Calgary for him, but that is not what happened. Like, I genuinely did not move to Calgary for this man. I moved to Calgary because at the time, like, all my friends were there, and like my lease was ending in Montreal, and I always was going back there like every other month.
Okay, but hold on, you can't say all your friends. How many friends do you have around the world globally?
Yeah, but like,
so why didn't you move to any of those other cities? Better than Calgary.
No, because I was already going there like every
you have a friend,
other month.
You have a friend in the States? Yes or no?
Okay, but that's
you have a friend in UK. You have a friend in Germany. You picked Calgary, Alberta, not because of your friends. It's because I put it down, and you needed to come back.
No.
So where did you move to when you came to Calgary? Did you stay with your friends?
No, but like my suitcases were at my friend's house, but I was like at his house,
rent free. So everything aligned for you a little too well in Calgary for you to be with your friends. That only being the only reason.
Anyways, that's not the point of this podcast. It's not to put me under the bus. The whole point is how we met. Anyways, that's how we met, and then from there
we lived together as roommates for a little bit.
Yeah, Mo was telling everybody that we were roommates. Roommates don't sleep in the same bed, guys. He was saying that we were roommates to everybody. He was like, "Yeah, we're just roommates."
That's literally the definition of roommate.
No, roommate.
Sharing one room, roommate.
No, roommates are sleep in the same.
Housemates, you sleep in different rooms. No. Roommates, you sleep in the same.
And then after that, like I started finding myself getting like jealous at little things. Like if he was out of the club, I'm like, okay, when are you coming home?
And see, that's what I noticed too. Cause like, so initially, like I really liked you, right? But there was some sticky circumstances. So, and then obviously like I noticed stuff like you didn't want to tell me to my face. Cause obviously you didn't want to be put into a position where like you make it look like you care too much, which you really did. So then it was like coming back to me from friends. Like, for example, when you were hanging out with other people and like I was working at the time, then the people would come back to me like, oh, listen, so we were playing a game, for example, and we asked about like, oh, who cares? Like they were asking about like relationships and stuff like that. And it always came back to me like, okay, this girl actually expects that next step to be taken.
Because honestly, girls, like, am I right? You're doing everything relationship wise. We were going on dates. He got me flowers on Valentine's Day after been living together for 1 month.
Listen, I'm a lover boy.
We went to like a nice dinner. We would be like obviously together all the time. And we had a dog. Well, I was taking care of his dog at the time, R.I.P. Benji. But you know what I mean? Like it was giving that we were getting to that stage. So then sometimes when we would be like, there would be little things happening where he'd be like going out and I'd be like, but wait a minute. What is happening here? Like, are we going to get together or not?
Game card number 2, guys. Hot and cold. It drives them crazy.
That's how you lose it. Because there was so many times where I started becoming insane. Like I was becoming insane. Like I would literally be like, I thought I was losing my mind. But anyways.
So yeah, it was a little bit of that back and forth, like that kind of like roommate situation going on until finally, like I thought to my head, I'm like, listen, and this is the kind of the conversation we're going to talk about now when it comes to dating in 2024 and dating recently in general. I think, okay, so for women, it's like they're always chasing more because of social media. So maybe you guys are dating right now. Maybe you guys are dating a guy and he's not providing to you what you see on social media that's being provided to other women. And then you guys forget the fact that these women are dating scammers, dating guys who, move weight, dating guys that are like trust fund babies. You can't expect that from every guy you see. And social media provides this kind of like facade. So even like for me, for example, when people see like what I do on social media, I don't want it to become like the kind of norm. And I don't want like the guys that see it to become like expecting to be able to provide the same way. Because like honestly, I lived for like so long trying to live above my means and make like paint this perfect picture, and then and this is like for so many other people. You guys are like struggling deep down to make those ends meet, and then like next week you're posting something where obviously you just paid your last money or your last bit of change just to support like this like TikTok style or this Instagram image you're trying to portray. So live like with whatever you can make and make that work, right? And then obviously if the girl you're talking to is interested in you, she's gonna look past what you're making or what you can do for her.
That's true. I think like a lot of girls like will say that they want this and this, but at the end of the day, like, you know that topic on social media where it's like, oh, if a guy is struggling, you got to leave him then and there. Like,
And that's what I'm saying. Like it's ruthless out there. So that's what like made my decision easier because one, and you got to think about it this way. Like a lot of girls that expect a lot from someone, to be fair, to make it fair, that girl has to come from something too,
yeah,
right? Like you
like
can't
she's had that standard before. Like, for example, like I know a lot of my friends and a lot of like, they have that standard where it's like they grew up like that. Their families went on vacations every year. Their families go out to dinners like to these really nice places. So it's like I'm not gonna now be with somebody who now we're eating KFC on a freaking mattress.
and obviously like for
not that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying like that standard
exactly,
for girls.
and
like,
that's why on the guys in the same breath, like you guys can't be getting paid like not like you guys are just getting started in your career or just getting started in your life, and then you're chasing the girls with like 8 countries in their Instagram highlights. It's just not gonna work out for you.
yeah, and it's okay. Like, not to say that that will never happen. Like, maybe later on in life you get to that point. Like,
no, but you can't get to that point in life and then start chasing the girls that would have wanted you for money. And the same, like, you can't then like work like.
but guys are like that. They're never
No,
gonna
no,
go
no.
for the girls. Like, once you get to that level, guys are not gonna just be like, now their standard is going to be those girls with the 8
right,
countries in their
but
highlights.
that makes you a loser in some sort of way. You can't build your entire career and your work life and your
but
success.
that is a lot of men's motivation.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't. I agree with that. They build themselves up just to go after the girls that would have rejected them when they were broke. And it's like, what does that say about you and how secure you are with yourself, right? So then, obviously, Tinta already came from like a good family. She already had a lifestyle where like even what I was doing, she's already kind of experienced it. She was well traveled before me, well traveled after me. Like while we were dating, we were well traveled. So like there was no shift in lifestyle for her. And even when we had lows and I wasn't able to provide that same benchmark and that same standard, you were still there. Like the love was still there. It never changed because of, oh, you couldn't get me flowers when you used to get me flowers. Because like life, that's life. There's going to be ups and downs. So if you're married for 10 years and your husband was providing for 9.5 years, stops providing for 5 months, you're going to leave him?
Yeah, no.
Exactly. Like, no.
But yeah, basically, we just like, and I think that's also ties into another thing is like how people always ask us, like, oh my gosh, you guys are so young. Like, how did you guys get like married? So,
No, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no point in like waiting around or running around. Because me, I like literally date to marry. Both culturally, like culturally and religiously, like I can't like be dating around. Like my mom will be like, "What are you doing, bro?"
yeah.
Like it's not allowed. Firstly, and secondly, I think it's a waste of time. Like, why am I investing? Like dating is expensive. Whether you're even splurging or not, it's like lunch or breakfast goes from being $5 or like whatever, like in kwacha, like maybe 200 kwacha for a meal. Next thing you know, you're out with 100. It's like 1,000. How does that happen?
Shots,
It
cocktails,
should be double.
starters.
by logical like sense, it should be like double, like maybe 400. Somehow it always ends up being 1,000 plus. It makes no sense. So that's what I'm saying. Dating is expensive. So one, why am I dating, wasting resources, wasting funds, wasting time if I don't know I'm gonna marry that person? So when I go into dating, I go into it with that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Anything besides dating, I'm like, I was open before. I'm always open. Like, listen, this is not what you think it is. But when I'm dating, I'm like straightforward. Like, we're dating. It's us two, and then like forever, potentially, hopefully.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Like, I'm not gonna wait around. Like, if I have something good and you were something good, I'm not gonna be like, let me shop around at this store and let me shop around at this store. Like,
When you know,
found,
you know.
when you know. So like, and obviously, like me, for example, like family is a big thing to me. So getting married earlier, allows the kids to come faster, and I don't want to be an
Guys,
old dad.
this kids topic is like really stressing me out. Everyone is like, okay, when are you guys having kids? Like, we just got married. Like, can we enjoy the the traveling, the time to go out without kids and stuff? But obviously that time will come, and I do want us to have a family soon. But it's like, let's just calm down a little bit.
We'll take time. But yeah, so I talked a lot how like dating is like tough on the finances, but then in that same topic, a lot of guys are getting scared of actually committing to marriage because of that finance. Like, oh, we want a house. Like, I want to be able to live on my own before I bring a girl into the equation. Because it's just like something they put a burden on themselves.
They don't have to be that.
When it's dating, be more mindful about your money. Like, because at the end of the day, you really don't know somebody until you really know somebody. So you don't want to obviously invest that money and then the girl does whatever or the guy does whatever, right? So, but when it comes to marriage, when you're ready to take that next step, in my opinion, don't focus too much about the money. Because if you are trusting in yourself and you guys are trusting in your journey and your path,
things will align.
Yeah, things will align. Things will open up. Opportunities will come. You'll help, because obviously you're now
together,
invested. You're not marrying someone who's gonna throw everything on you, or else you wouldn't be getting married in the first place.
But also, guys, we've only been married for like 3 months,
and it's been good.
No, it's been good, like in the sense, but I feel like it felt like we've been married for like, not, you know what I mean?
No,
like,
but it feels like we've been married the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we've been together for such a long time. Like, technically, we've known each other for 3 years, but been dating for 2. And then when we were seeing each other, I think it only took him like 3 months.
That's what I'm saying. I'm direct.
3 months to ask me to be his girlfriend, because can't be waiting around.
No, and that's something else I've noticed, like about like our connection in general, and I think it's important for like any connection in general. It's so like, and I've said this before, it's like materialistic. Nowadays, it's so transactional. Like relationships, you need to build like that friendship bond in a relationship. And even people like that know us personally always pointing out, like, for example, your brother is like, oh, like it's so like refreshing to see you guys actually like.
Yeah, I think more than anything that we're like best friends. Like, yeah, we're obviously like in love and everything, but I think we're also like, we're really like, we really have that bond where it's like, if I want to do something fun, I know I want to have fun with Mo. Or if I want to have like, if I have gossip, I'm gonna run to Mo first and tell him.
Because you honestly can't live with somebody unless you can actually like firstly tolerate them.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest thing.
But like, even like when I'm in when he's in the living room for too long and I'm in the room, I'm like, we're both like, okay, I'm coming to the living room, or we're coming to the thing. Or like, even I've realized it's so funny. Like, I was watching a TikTok of this girl and she went to the gym and she saw her boyfriend there. And she didn't know her boyfriend was going to be at the gym. I was like, that could never happen.
Like, that's so weird to me. Like, are you, like, if you guys are dating, like exclusively dating, you should always be in contact.
Like Mo and I, when he even leaves, like if I'm in the car, we're like going to ShopRite, and then Mo goes to ShopRite into like, and I'm sitting in the car waiting for him, we'll be texting.
We're still talking.
Like, we're still texting to be like, oh my gosh, baby, isn't this so funny? And he's literally just gone to ShopRite. I'm in the car. Like, or like if I'm in the living room and he's in the bedroom, like I'm still texting him. Like, I feel like we always have like constant communication. And like, even like when we're like arguing, obviously, because every couple argues, I think like even then we still,
it's like hard to argue. It's like hard to stay mad. So yeah, once you know, guys. So even if you're like 20, go get married. If you found your person, go get married. If you go, like, do it honestly, because there's nothing good for you is waiting out here.
Oh, but someone I was having this conversation with my friend. One of my best friends is also like in a relationship. Well, she's married, but I'm not gonna say who it is. But she's married, and she was having a conversation with me to say that she feels like sometimes now she can't like not relate to her single friends, but like she can't really like, it's not like the same priorities anymore. But I wanted to talk about that because I feel like a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of discourse on Twitter about girls who get married and then they start being like,
no, this
changed.
No. That I will refuse to let this narrative grow. It's not the fault of the girls who are married. It's the single girls.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
no. But you can't say the married girls changed. They just grew. They've grown into a relationship and to a family building stage in their life. It's the single girls still trying to keep them in square one, peer pressuring them into the lifestyle that they've lived before. But then they've got to consider, if they're really your friends, whether they're single or not, they should consider the fact that you're married now.
That's true.
So it's like, okay, cool, you guys wanted to go to the club, cool, that's fine. but staying out till 3, 4 a.m. and then or guilt shaming them if they're not staying out till 4.
No, I know, but I mean like in the sense that like
You can't say, oh, the married girl switched up or she changed.
no. I'm saying like there's like discourse on Twitter where it's like basically saying like married people like don't want to surround themselves with people who are like still.
No, we still want to be out.
Yeah.
But it's like there comes a level of responsibility in marriage where you can't be gallivanting at 5 a.m. It makes no sense.
I mean, unless it's like together. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, like if we're together, right? But say like, for example, in the same way that if I was out with the boys till 5 a.m., you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like what do you mean?
Same way, if you're staying out till 5, I'm like, oh yeah, but my friends, they said you barely come out anymore and we want you to stay out. No, are you guys dumb? Are you guys married? If you guys were married, you'd be at home at 11 p.m.
Okay, not 11, please.
No, but that's like the point of the thing. So it's like, it's not so the fault of the girls that are getting married and then switching up. It's these girls that are still stuck in there, and it's obviously it's not like a fault on them that they're single.
But I still love hanging out with obviously I love majority of my friends are single, and I love it because I love hearing like their dating stories. I love hearing like their going out stories. I love it because I'm like, not that I'm like missing or anything, but I just love hearing that, like, I'm not missing it. That perspective to be like, how are things going? And then
it keeps you refreshed.
Yeah.
It's the same way with the boys. Like I still like to include myself in banter, like, oh, what's going on with this so-and-so and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Especially here. The banter is a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah. So then that brings us to another question we get asked a lot is like, how did someone like me end up in Zambia?
Oh, yeah. Well.
And then a lot of people also said, like, I remember I made one video on TikTok where I was like, I talked about how moving to Zambia was probably the best decision I've made in my life. And then I remember somebody in the comments was like, obviously like a local Zambian was like, how has moving here been like the best decision? Like,
I think that people have this like weird thing to think that if you live abroad, then automatically life is so good.
No, I don't think it's just that. I think it's people who are accustomed to their own place.
Yeah.
Like the same way, like if you told someone from Calgary, like a Calgarian, and you weren't from there, like say for example, it's you, and your best decision was moving to Calgary, and you said that to someone from Calgary, they'd be like,
that's true. Because even when I moved to Calgary, I was like, I kept on saying, I can't wait to move here. People would be like, are you sure? Like, it's not that a bit. Like I was so excited because I'd only been there for like short periods.
And it's not about the actual place; it's about the environment
people,
change, right? So like, and obviously, honestly, I can't even hate on Zambia. Like even the place itself, the vibes, the people, the hospitality, the welcoming, like everything about it. People from here, obviously, I'll get it. How they'll try to equate it to my life in the West and be like, how can you even say that it's
but it's just
better
like,
here?
So, yeah.
And honestly, I'm telling you, everything from my mindset being changed, even stuff like I used to like feel comfortable waking up at like 11 noon. Like I wouldn't get out of bed till like noon. For some reason, ever since I moved here, I'd be up and productive at like 6, 7 a.m. It's just changing that environment shifts the whole thing.
The people are just like more like, I feel like genuine, or maybe it's like I'm a little bit biased because I've known the friends that we hang out with for a long time. I just feel like the people in Calgary.
The people around, it was just, the specific groups around us are genuine.
Maybe.
But in terms of people in general, there's still some shady stuff going on here the same way as like everywhere else.
Oh yeah, there's shady stuff going on here, but it's like not to the extent where you're like,
we just have kept ourselves. Exactly.
I think we don't really I think for us, I think the group that we hang out with are like good people. So it's like I don't think we really see that like that other side of when people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, so pretty much coming to the end of the stint, I know you don't want to talk about this as much. I won't go into too much detail, but people want to know how we ended up here. So like obviously like she was doing school online in Canada, and I came to a point where I was unemployed at the time, and we were living together in Calgary. And then obviously you guys know rent in the West is like absurd. And her being a student and me being unemployed, it just became impossible to support that same lifestyle. Plus two dogs. It became impossible trying to support like that lifestyle alone. And obviously like we would have went back to my family's house at the time, but my mom's house is like crowded. Like I have 5 younger siblings, and it's a 3-bedroom house. So like that was a no. And then, obviously we lacked support in Calgary, to say the least. So I had an idea in my head. I remember like this was so funny. We had booked a trip to Dubai, November 2022, and we couldn't go because this girl decided to throw her passport in the laundry or something, and we got denied on my birthday at the airport, and everything was booked. And like, yeah, we can't let you fly, miss. So now we have Expedia credits that have been sitting in the account for like a year, like $900 or $1,000. I forgot what it was. Literally just enough to book us a one-way ticket to Zambia.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna book this with literally our last dollars.
And the thing is like we didn't even like sit on it. I think we woke up one day, we're like,
no,
fuck this.
I was sitting on it. Like I brought this up to you like a month before.
Yeah, but I just was so attached. Like I just kept on thinking to myself, I'm like, there's just no way that like God wants us to legit move back to Zambia. Like, what are the fucking odds of that happening? Like,
well, not
there's
back to for you.
yeah, back
This
to
is-
me. Like, I think for me, it's because I had like lived here when I was younger, and I was like, ugh, like I'm gonna go back to Zambia, and like I just was not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna have this and this, and we also had again our 2 dogs. So I'm like,
she was westernized. She was missing her Sephora.
I was just missing so many things that I was just like, I can't let go of this stuff. Like, I can't get rid of like, what about my friends here? Like, what about like, isn't things just gonna get better? Like, the whole point of me moving here was to like do it good for myself.
Yeah, but like we honestly like had no choice.
Yeah.
Like we were drowning to the point. So like I'm like, this is the only idea that makes sense. And we'll just figure it out from there.
I think one day we'll really talk about like what the fuck we went through. Like when we look at snaps of us, like or like thingies of us of where we were this
like
time
we were
last
like
year.
during the bottom, like the depths,
I
the things we had to endure like day to day for like
You people.
2 weeks, not even 2 weeks, like 2 months
2 months of
like
honest
2 months
bullshit.
of like the craziest lifestyle that you guys can think of.
Like,
and we were still able to put up this front where like if it was still an outing or an event and we would still
go.
show face. We would still have like a fresh outfit on.
We would still go. Yeah, my lashes, my hair, my nails were always done. You
Like,
would
and it's
never
like-
have known that.
And it's not because we did this just to keep up an image. It's that we
genuinely had
honestly-
to do something to make us feel good.
no. It's not just that. I think in our respect, we just didn't. We like literally did not want to like show
Yeah.
people that we were like we wanted to
Yeah.
like stay strong, and that was our way of staying strong, right?
Like, because who's gonna question what you guys are going through if you still look good?
And,
as
and
fuck, you
obviously,
know?
we already established that nobody honestly cared about the situation. So we didn't want to
Yeah.
look like it was actually affecting us. We wanted to push through and still make it look like we were making it happen on our own, which we did. Like, honestly, for the 2 months, we did well. Then we moved here. After moving here, that's when like things started to shift into a positive direction.
Like ever since we moved here, like things just kept getting better.
Like I've had noticed this thing about me like before where I was just like I have bad luck that chases me.
Yeah.
Whether it's like car accidents
Mo's luck is like in Canada was ridiculous. Like every month it was something like so big. Like it would be a car accident, totaled the car.
like literally
thousands of dollars we have to pay for
literally every month. I think I took a loss. Like every month on average, I took a loss of at least $2,000 on like the stupidest, most absurd like things
it
happening.
was just like every time we would be like okay again, something would happen. Like I don't know what it was. Like something would genuinely be like, nope, you guys think you're good? No, fuck it. And it would just be things that it's like you can't get out of. Like you can't.
to just to name one, I think we were in the process of moving from one B&B to one B&B. So we had like a bunch of suitcases in the back of my car. We stayed one night. I parked it in the wrong place for one night.
Oh my God.
And they took a full suitcase with
All of our clothes in it. All of our clothes, all our toiletries, like all of our like I don't even know how by the grace of God the suitcase that they didn't take had like our
the other suitcase had our
important
passports and
documents.
stuff.
Like, it was so like we were at an Airbnb. We come down in the morning, the car is smashed like into like, and the thing is, it's like at this point we were already so down bad. It's almost just like, okay, just kill me, just take me now, Lord, because what am I on this earth for? Like we're just gonna suffer. So then we just left.
Long story short, we ended up here.
Yeah.
And then it was like go time. Like it was apply,
yeah.
remote jobs, like
All
10
of a
applications.
sudden, like we were here for maybe like a month of just like chilling. And
No, 3 months. It was 3 months before I got my remote job.
No, because we come here like end of July, and then you got your job
September.
Like, yeah.
August, September.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah. Then Mo got a job, and then obviously like it was like really good. And
Also,
thank
another
God.
tidbit, because I'm gonna use this podcast to also share experiences and obviously offer value. I've already talked about this. I'm gonna say it again to my people in Zambia who look for a job that hopefully will pay you in dollars and probably triple your salary. Apply and lie. I never said this in my TikTok because I think at the time I was following my employer or something. I didn't want to say like, anyways, lie. Like if you guys want to say you went to Yale, put Yale. Say you graduated from
Okay,
Harvard.
not that too much of a lie. Like lie.
Find a nice university in San Francisco and say you graduated with
San
it.
Francisco.
Bro, nobody will check. I'm telling you right now, your employer will not check. Work experience, say find a nonprofit organization somewhere in the world. Say you worked for it as a account manager or a project manager, some like vague, ambiguous term. And But this is the thing. Don't apply to a job and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, it has to be something.
If you
that
don't know
already
anything about computer engineering and now you're applying to become a computer engineer, you're gonna look stupid when you get hired. So if you're good with, for example, working with people, apply
sales,
yeah.
or
If
HR,
you're good with math, like if you're generally good with computing and softwares,
heck,
but you don't have that experience or you don't have that schooling to back it up, just lie anyways. As long as you can actually code, just do it. So that's a tip, and just apply. Like don't give up, because it honestly took me like 3. It took you even longer. It took you like
yeah, oh my gosh,
6 to 8 months of just constant applying before we heard back from anybody. And yeah, so our time in Zambia has been great. It's been a year now.
yeah.
Any regrets?
No, I think my only regret is that we didn't do this sooner. To be honest,
Pros about Zambia. Pros about
Everything.
living together in Zambia.
honestly, everything is like so much like, I don't know, just so much better here. Like our lifestyle is better, our mindset is better. Like my mental health, honestly, like has been so much better since we moved. Like in Canada,
I think we can agree the only thing we take from the West is the infrastructure. Like if we can put the buildings and stuff from the West here.
and
Actually,
Instacart.
no. I take that
Oh.
back. I take that back. I would still take the serenity and the nature of things here. But just, add
Just
some
little
stores.
conveniences.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi or anyways. But anyways, I think like we are really good now.
Yeah.
So well, I think we're good now. But anyways, we'll come back for part 2 because we have to go now.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think we shared enough. For
oh.
people on TikTok that were
Oh, never mind.
we're
can
good?
keep going.
Okay. So, yeah, this actually takes me to another point on TikTok, is that I feel like
Oh, but I want to ask you something. A lot of people here on TikTok like always are like very forward with you.
oh yeah, girls in Zambia, no shame.
Yeah.
Absolutely
how do you
no
feel
shame.
about that as a married man?
Like my TikTok requests, maybe like 60 plus messages like, "Hey, I can be your friend. Let's hang out." Blah blah. Like it's like and literally it's like if I only posted myself, it would make sense. Like, oh, young guy who's like obviously
Yeah.
not from here, looks like he has money from like social media, obviously. Like, but I'm literally posting like couple stuff
Yeah.
and they don't care.
I don't think girls really care, but
No, but that's the thing I actually find appalling here. Maybe it's like that like elsewhere, not just Zambia, but in the West, I have like girls are more mindful of other girls in relationships. There's obviously some trifling ones. There's a few trifling ones, but in the general sense, girls are definitely like if you have.
I think girls here are very forward. I think
No,
girls here
it's
know
not
what
just
they
that.
want.
They're actually like backstabbers here. They're crazy. Like you see me posting a girl and you still don't care. In Canada, for example, even the States, that would put a lot of girls off.
Yeah.
It would put them off
But I think
completely.
you know what I think? I think girls maybe like see like what you do for me or something, and then they
and that's
think,
the
like,
thing. I think it's
you
just
maybe could do that
they're
for
trying
them
to
too.
trying to catch a lottery ticket.
But girls, please. But it's just like I just find that funny because I feel like once we moved here, we've really noticed it a lot. And like obviously, I see everything. Like I see all the requests, I see all the messages.
And I show her everything, girl. So
Yeah.
she literally sees everything.
So yeah.
But then, that's what I was saying. So on TikTok, a lot of people on TikTok or even social media. That's the thing. When I also talk about like genuine relationships, it needs to be the same way as it is on TikTok as it is behind.
Oh yeah, a lot of people like us like I've heard like will say like, oh, he spoils her. Like there was a girl, one of my friends actually told me that one of these was like guy was like trying to say something to me and then he was like, oh, but it's okay because he cheats on her anyways. And I was like, how would you have like where would you have gotten
that was here, right?
Yeah, where would you
Yeah.
have gotten that information from? Like, and he's like, oh, he just buys her things on for TikTok or whatever. But I really honestly want to say, I think our friends can vouch for this. Like the same way that we are on TikTok or like whatever is literally the same way that we are. But apparently I'm a bully. So that's another story for another day.
Listen, guys, just know what you're getting into before you put the ring on.
I am not a bully. I just like, I think anyways, whatever.
No, you need a little tug of war in a relationship. It can't be entirely on one side or entirely on the other. So yeah, that's what I was saying. It really needs to have like that genuine aspect. And I feel like a lot of relationships nowadays, it's literally like they'll do something for the sake of just doing it on TikTok. And I want people, and this is me also trying to clear my name in case people are assuming this in the back of their mind or coming up to their own assumptions. I genuinely do things because I actually enjoy spoiling the person I love.
Yeah, there's so many things that also don't make it on social media.
Like yeah, I did this. I'm that guy before the videos and the posts. Like I was still doing it, and I'll do like, for example, like just, and I don't want to brag, but this kind of sounds like I'm just bigging myself up now. But like like if I'm walking in the mall and I notice, like I remember something you said that you liked, I'll just get it on an impulse, regardless of what my bank account's saying. And then in my head, it's like I'd rather have that satisfaction knowing that I did something for you, and then I'll just deal the consequences of my wallet later.
They're gonna call you Pygmisha. No, I'm joking.
No, but that's like,
no, but like it's not like, even about the material things. Like even just like the way you are with me. I think like I think for me personally, I've been in like awful situations in the past. So it's like
nobody trying to hear.
When I met Mo, I'm trying to big you up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stop, huh?
You've never had a past before me. Continue.
I like genuinely, I think like also I was like very nervous because I'd never been so vulnerable with somebody. And I think like for me, it was like, why, like it was happening not too fast, but I mean in the sense that it was just
I'm a slight love bomber. It's okay.
Yeah, it was giving love bomb. Like already it was like, how are we already at this point where I felt like I was like, damn, like I actually loved this person, but I didn't want to obviously say it because obviously we were not together at that time. But then like I felt like it just made sense. Like everything, there was never a time that we were together and it was like bad or awkward or like we've never gotten into anything, like, you know what I mean? Like it's always been good vibes, it's been good energy. So it's like then to have like in a relationship and then to be married with somebody, it's almost just like it keeps getting better, I feel. Like I feel like, and
hopefully like, because we hear horror stories of like married couples that like lose that spark or they never had that spark when they got married, and it's like now you have kids and then now you're just together because of the kids.
Yeah,
I rebuke that kind of marriage. There's no way.
But I think it's also because we're like friends first. So I think also, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like also when hardships or whatever happen, or like if we get into that voice, we'll be able to talk to each other to be like, yeah, I don't like this and I want you to do this more.
Yeah. Kind of thing. But, you know, I'm never not doing anything wrong. So.
Oh, really?
10 out of 10.
Like all across?
Yeah.
True, right? 10 out of 10 here?
So what does the future have in store for us?
More travel, more.
Yeah. So
our wedding. I feel like everybody thinks that was our wedding.
Yeah. So that was not our disclaimer wedding, for anybody.
You think I was gonna get married in that dress like that, and that was my wedding? Like I think you guys. She
really wants to make like hit this point. That was not the official big celebration, the wedding. She needs something grand. We won't disclose the location until it's ready.
Yeah, we're never gonna say things. Yeah, no. Bad juju.
The location won't be disclosed, but it's gonna be a big wedding for the friends watching. If you guys think you're gonna get invited, you'll probably be getting invited. If you think you won't get invited, you won't get an invitation.
And me, I'm strict now. After I had this like marriage ceremony, and I realized like this. No, now for sure, like I don't. Are
we gonna stay here for good?
No.
Yeah, we probably won't be.
Mo is trying to move like now. I'm like, let's calm down a little
Not bit. Now. So
maybe in like a year.
Yeah, okay. So I've been looking into South Africa. We'll still be close to my people here, but I just think South Africa, like we were talking about, offers that Western convenience.
But also like the lifestyle.
And we're still here. Yeah, so.
And close to family too.
And we'd still be close to family and stuff like that. So it makes everything more simple. Besides Cape Town.
Oh, and also people want, sorry to change subject at such a 180. I don't even know if we have time to talk about this, but people wanted to ask us how it is getting married and we're not the same religion.
Oh, that's actually a great okay. How much time do we have left? Okay, cool. This is actually a good conversation. And I think it's harder on my end than it is. Yeah. Actually, your family was quite no, okay, so no, because it actually made it easier for me because your family already had like
the thing is like my brothers are one of my brothers is was married to somebody who was like a different race and a different like.
And then also your aunt.
Yeah. My aunt was married to somebody like who was white. Like it was like we've already had that kind of interracial in our family before.
So they were more accepting, I think.
But then also they've always been the same religion. Like just because they were a different race, they were still Christian or they were still like some kind of like thing like that where it was like that. But for me to have like been like, hi, I'm bringing home an Arab man, it was giving like, girl. Funny enough, because I used to live in Tunisia for 2 years. I used to live in Tunisia for 2 years, and Tunisia is like a Arab country.
And they built up some negative stigmas from the way the Arabs are.
That was like the first time personally for me that I've ever experienced racism. Like so for me, it's like I've never thought that Arab guys, not to be like whatever, liked black girls. You know, I feel like a lot of black girls will like they're not gonna assume. I don't know if that's just like a me
You just
thing.
haven't
but
been to Canada, because in Canada, a lot of there's a select group of like
yeah,
Arab
because in
guys.
Montreal, can't the Arab guys would only date Arab girls.
Yeah,
Like, they
okay,
would
so
they would
so
talk to black girls.
this
but
is
they
what
would
happens.
Not date them.
This is what happens for Arab guys. They'll date the entire spectrum, but they'll end up marrying an Arab girl.
Exactly. So it's almost just like
Because it's so hard, and it's not because it's just generally so hard being an Arab Muslim guy going against the grain of going against the grain, right? So and that's why it was so hard leading up to like obviously telling my parents about, because like that's like you were the first person like I even introduced to my parents.
Mhm.
Before you, it was just like nothing. Like my mom would just be like warning me. She wouldn't have any evidence that I was ever talking to anybody, but she's like, you better not get anybody pregnant. You better not be dating any girls. The first girl I ever told my parents about was you. And initially it was like, no.
Yeah.
But they were so, but unlike your family, my family only ever before, like the uncles, the aunts, they only dated, they only married Iraqi, not even just Arab, like only from that country and only Muslim. So me being the black sheep, be like, listen, I might move to Zambia and I'm also talking to a Zambian girl.
A black girl.
And then funny enough, I remember I quote like word for word, this is what my mom said. She's like, oh, like she's African. I'm like, yeah. She's like, so like Egyptian or Moroccan? I was like, no, like Africa. She's like, what? Like, and obviously I had to say it like that because then she had to like really grasp in her head, like she's not like some Afro-Arab lady. Like this is like a girl from Zambia. She's darker skinned. She's Christian. She's not Muslim. And then yeah, initially it was like no. And then once I moved here and I told my mom like I was going. Remember I told my mom I was going.
Yeah, he told his mom that he was going to Dubai
for work, but she's not stupid. So when I called her again when I was in Zambia. And I'm like, listen, mom, I need to talk to you about something. And she's like, I'm not stupid. I know where you are. I know why you're there. So I'm like, what do you think about it? Because like this is genuinely something I really want to pursue, and I need you to go into it with an open mind as well.
Because you know, at the end of the day, like people, like you can say you want to elope and do all the things, but it's like there's nothing better feeling than having your parents like,
on your side
and everything, like to be like it like you want that.
Because like every time now that like when like for example, because like disclaimer, my mom and her mom are like besties now. Yeah. Every time they have a conversation on the phone, it warms my heart. I'm like, I would have never saw this coming ever. Like they were giving each other gifts. They might even see each other on like the wedding. Like we might fly them like out in the same place. So like I honestly never foresaw that happening, and the fact that it was able to become a reality is like one of the biggest blessings in this entire like marriage. And then obviously there's still the same way there was like some kind of obstacles that I encountered on my side. Getting to the serious talks, because at first I felt like your family was like on board, like everything was like, yeah, he's cool, like we're good, we like him, da da da.
But I think my family's number one concern was about like
they thought I was gonna convert you or something.
Yeah, they were like, and he's allowed to have 4 wives. Do you know that? And I'm like, okay, it's just it's also like a personal preference. Like not all Muslim guys are gonna have 4 wives. Not all Muslim guys are gonna require their wife to convert. Like
no, but
never
there was
had that like
the same way was like stereotypes coming from my side. There was a lot of like, oh, what if he like hits you? Da, 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 like,
it was just
stuff
weird.
like that.
Not obviously weird. Like that's what we saw. Like
we expected it.
So it's like it was hard in the beginning because I felt like I was never gonna have that relationship like with your mom to be like to be able to be like, okay, like I want to be able to text my mother-in-law. I want to be able to. But now it's like I literally texted your mom and like she got me gifts and like, you know, now it's like at that point where I'm like, that is my mother-in-law. And like she's like, you know.
But even like so when we did the nikah, that was the hardest part, I think. That was the part that was like the stickiest part. Yeah. Because then your dad was like, no, what is this? He didn't understand what the nikah was. He thought it was like some kind of process where like she's gonna become Muslim or something like that.
I honestly did have to wear hijab for that.
You didn't. No, you didn't. It was out of respect.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to.
I wasn't gonna be like in front of
like in front of the sheikh, yeah.
And, like with my hair out and stuff like that. But then also I think like my dad obviously had reserves because I am the only girl in my family. I only have brothers. I'm the youngest. Like it's like, you know, he's giving his little girl away to somebody that's like from a completely different faith, completely different culture. And like he obviously had to have like his reserves, like just like with anything else. And I think everybody's number one question is how, like in our families, like how are we gonna raise our kids with 2 faiths? But it's like,
what?
Let's talk about this on camera.
That's a lot. That's a tough.
Like, we're still obviously gonna respect each other's cultures. Like, if I want to take the kids to church, I'm gonna take the kids. If you want to take the kids to the mosque, you can take the kids to the mosque. And when Muhammad, when they get older, they can obviously come up to that conclusion by themselves. But we have, like, I feel like people are gonna think and sit here and be like, they haven't talked about it. No, we talk about this all the time.
I think in general, we'll keep it short. I think in general, even if, for example, like say we were both Muslim or say we were both Christian. Let's say we're both Christian, so people don't say I'm trying to take over here. Let's say we're both Christian. I still wouldn't force Christianity down the
not
throats.
Force, but I'm saying,
like, because like just coming from like the way I was brought up, I felt like it was like an obligation. So I have to let it flow. You have to let it flow. Teach them what you think is right, and let it flow. So, and if obviously they're coming up in an completely opposite direction of what you want, then you have to
kind of guide
enforce and become more strict with things. But let things flow. Like at the end of the day, whether you literally throw your kid in a boarding Christian school or in a private Islamic school, if they grow up another way, that's how they're gonna. Yeah. We were all brought up the same way. We were all brought up in conservative households, mosque every Friday, and then
church
we all
Sunday.
Like.
But now it's like we kind of have our own.
Everyone has their own set of morals and what's right and wrong, and then you can do your best.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we've touched on a lot of topics.
Yeah. I think we're good, and I think like now we're kind of just. I think we've touched on a lot of subjects. Sorry guys.
I think I've addressed all my comments and my inquiries on TikTok. I will probably post some clips.
Oh, well, we have a lot of questions that people wanted to ask.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the first question is, who said I love you first?
I did.
Yeah.
But you loved me first.
Okay, that is so crazy to say. You cannot say that. The question is, who said I love you first? Not
I did. Yeah. But I'm a man, so I took charge. I did.
Wait, why? Because you were
genuinely
feeling that way?
I wanted to move into the next direction. I need to get into the next stage of the relationship.
Mm-hmm. So you said it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, real. What is the other question? Oh yeah. What is your favorite thing that I do for you?
I don't know. I think it's not a thing, but it's a feeling you give me. It's like just home.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were talking about, like even when we were like in the depths, it still felt like I was comfortable and relaxed.
Yeah.
Even when and then even when obviously we're in our highs, I want to be experiencing that with you. So it's like, it's not a thing. It's just like a feeling. Mm-hmm. It's just home.
Yeah. Should I answer the same?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, I think the favorite thing that you do for me is you actually make me feel like safe. I think that's
so like it's like the same
but not
thing.
like in the sense that like I know like if I'm out or if like it's like little things like not safe. Obviously it's safe emotionally, but safe in the sense that like I never have to worry. Like, you know what I mean?
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, like he'll figure it out, and like I have the faith that he will figure it out. It's not like I'm sitting there putting my trust in you, and then I'm like kind of
like there's a lot of guys who like, for example, like if they're in a struggling relationship or like they're both, you know what I mean? Like when they're both not like at 100%, mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys who like sell fake promises.
Yeah.
And they know they maybe can't deliver on that. But me, I don't say anything unless I actually believe I can make it happen.
That's true.
And I usually like follow through with whatever I say that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I make sure it happens.
Yeah. So it's just like, I just feel like I never have to worry about anything. Like I know my man got it, like in all aspects kind of thing. Mm-hmm. What place haven't we visited yet that needs to be on the top of our list? Japan.
Should we disclose?
No.
Okay, we shouldn't So we're traveling, so stay tuned for some travel vlogs in the next 4 months. I've been impulsively booking tickets, but out of the places that we haven't booked yet, Japan. Definitely number one.
That's like our number one place.
But it's a far flight from here.
Yeah. I just can't.
I think we'd have to like spend some time in like Joburg, like just on like a weekend trip and then fly from there. Because the flights from Joburg are actually like, that's how you have to do it. You have to
but it's just not about that. It's about that sitting in a plane for like 13 hours.
It's a long flight.
Can't. But yeah, Japan and like.
Is it top 3 or just top? We'll just leave it at Japan, I think.
Yeah, places.
Oh, places?
Yeah, I can.
Name another one, quick. Let's see if we can name one, like telepathic. Let's see if we can get it the same way.
Okay.
Hold on. 3 seconds.
1, 2, 3. Morocco.
I actually fumbled. I was gonna say Mauritius. I can't
even think. Yeah.
I was gonna say either Mauritius or Morocco, but I was waiting for you to say it.
Morocco.
Okay, go.
What's the most embarrassing miscommunication moment we've had? Honestly, let me say it. I'll say it. This was before we were dating. One time, Mo had this black jacket, right? And
I thought you were gonna bring something. Go.
I would never. I would never. Mo had this black. Wait, was it that?
No. I was gonna talk about the locked out of the room one.
Don't actually embarrass me on this fucking podcast. Are you dumb?
Go.
Now I don't want to talk about
it. Go.
Okay.
It's because you started off with black, so go.
Okay, Mo. I can't even talk about it anymore. I actually lost my train of thought.
Okay, which one is it? So I can talk because I don't.
No, it actually won't make sense. It's like a whole story I have to realize. Like,
the garbage bag or something?
And the black jacket. Yeah, no, it just makes it's actually not a good story to tell. I think the most embarrassing miscommunication we've had is like probably me just jumping to conclusions.
Like every day.
Yeah, I think that's like not every day.
Every day.
No.
Go. What's next?
What's a question we've never asked each other? Or what's a question you've never asked me?
I don't know.
I think we just talk about everything too much.
I don't know. There's a question like I've asked you, but like half-heartedly never asked.
What is it?
Never mind. Actually,
no, say it.
Like body count, but I've never actually.
Never. That brings us to the end of this episode.
But I've never actually like wanted the answer. Like I've just asked it like jokingly.
That's so crazy.
Because and this is the thing. I honestly wholeheartedly believe do not ask a girl for her body count. One, she'll either lie to you or she'll either lie or she'll tell the truth and you'll be off her completely.
No, but it's not even about that. Because men have such weird standards.
No.
Body count for them, they're like, okay, 3. If you
it's just naturally
more than like 2, they're freaking out.
It's not even the number. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, if it's somebody I really like, even if I hear the number 1, I get like somebody was there before me.
So
it's not even like it's like literally instinctually as men, you want to be the owner of that. Like not owner, bad word. People are gonna say crazy things.
Arab crazy.
But you actually like you want to make it. You want to feel like it's yours, and just the fact that it was ever been interacted with by other parties. I think it says so. Just leave that question out when you're getting to know somebody. You don't know mine. I've given you a range.
I'll whoop your ass on this fucking podcast. I'll fucking whoop your ass. Mohammed, seriously, I'm like, you don't piss me off.
I don't even know mine. Go.
Guys, please. What else? Yeah, like we basically talked about like how we've adapted and like just that's it, really.
That's it.
Let me see the other question. There's probably
you're flustered, huh? Go.
What's your favorite moment? Oh, what's your favorite photo of us?
You
know what? We need to start taking pictures more. Not like pictures of like selfies. When we go to places.
You're the issue.
Yeah, I hate
every
photos.
time I take a picture, like, no, I don't like this one. No, I look horrible. No.
I like videos, but you can't videos are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like a
favorite photo though. I think from like our marriage ceremony.
Oh yeah,
those are the nice photos. Obviously, we looked like really good, and then obviously the context in the background is very like it's a very important day, probably the biggest day of our lives besides the big wedding. So
yeah, which is like now we're gonna have like 4 anniversaries.
No. You gotta come. They don't become separate. That's just more days for me. Like we were talking about, we can't do National Girlfriend Day, then Wife Day, then Anniversary, and Valentine's. No.
What? So now we don't have any more anniversaries?
Anniversary, the regular anniversary, like when we said like I love you, let's be girlfriend, boyfriend, that then gets erased when I propose. Then the proposal gets erased by the marriage ceremony, and the marriage ceremony gets erased by the wedding.
No, I was never gonna do the like anniversary of our proposal. Like it was like we said it was the anniversary when we got together.
No, but you still expect me to remember all those dates. Yes or no?
Yeah, but like what about it?
We'll see.
So what? We're not going to celebrate our anniversary?
You know I will anyways, man. Go.
I was going to say, don't play me on this camera, please. But yeah, that's basically all the questions, right? Do you have any other questions you want to touch base on?
No, I think this has actually been a very informative and productive podcast. I can't lie.
Yeah. Shout out to Wango and YZ for...
Shout out to Scary Hours.
Shout
out to Wezi and Wengo for allowing us to obviously take the space. And it also kills two birds with one stone because now I can answer all the questions on TikTok using this podcast.
At Big Moves on TikTok.
If you guys don't already know. That's actually something I'm actually impressed with myself with. Like, maybe it's like coming to, because in Calgary, like I was well known just based off of like always being out. But like in terms of like, I don't know, it feels weird. Like I'd go like Twin Palm and like a random girl be like, oh, that's the guy from TikTok.
Yeah, that's funny.
So it's like, it's funny. And like I've actually in a year done like a impressive job getting my name out there.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be more like, yeah, I thought it'd be like more reserved and like low key, but I guess it came out opposite. So.
But anyways, love you guys. Thank you guys. And I was supposed to say shout out to Holly. I love you, girl. Because I know she's gonna.
We don't do free plugins here.
Damn, strict around this motherfucker.
We'll see you guys around. Maybe I'll do a boys edition.
No, there's not. Let's cut the cameras now. Where's he? Cut the cameras.
Peace.
Bye.